Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson jet setting cruise video. Today we're checking out the Liberty of the Seas, a full tour from deck 15 all the way down, every public space on board. First we're going to check out deck 15 at the very top of the ship at the Skylight Chapel. So obviously this is just used for weddings. On other ships I think these have kind of been turned into escape rooms, but pretty cool to see where people can get married on board. This is only accessible from deck 14, there's no elevator up to that. The Olive or Twist Lounge is right below it. So this is where you can get a nice martini, has some great sea views in the evenings, great place to play cards during the day. There's also the Diamond Plus Lounge as well as the Suites Lounge up on this level, and this doubles as the ship's nightclub at night. So the Liberty of the Seas was built in 2007. Can hold almost 5,000 passengers at maximum capacity, a little under 4,000 at double occupancy. So really a nice ship here. Hasn't been amplified like other ships in the fleet though. So it's probably in need of a dry dock just to be able to renovate some of the spaces, but overall still in great shape as most Royal Caribbean ships are. So looking down at the pool deck there, the kids play area, there's one of the doors to the Suites Lounge. Unfortunately, I can't show you the Suites Lounge because I was not in a suite, but you can get a good view of that to the right at night there. They do have their own little deck. If you're a Pinnacle, you also get access to that, so pretty cool little perk there. So now we're gonna head down to deck 13, which has a good amount of public spaces as well. Deck 13 is pretty much completely an activities deck. It's split into two parts on the ship, so we're going to see the other part of deck 13 later in the video. But on the aft part of deck 13 is the Perfect Storm. Features the three major water slides on board. You have Cyclone and Typhoon as well as Tidal Wave. So Cyclone and Typhoon are two body slides, and then Tidal Wave is a tube slide with a quarter pipe on there, so pretty cool. There's also the Flow Rider, which is the artificial wave that you can boogie board and surf on. The Sports Court, which has dodgeball, basketball, pickleball, as well as the rock climbing wall. One thing I did love about this section is that the hours of this place were pretty long, available pretty much all day, especially while you were in port. So it did get a little busy in terms of lines on some of the sea days. So if you're into those water slides, maybe jump back on board a little early from one of the ports and you can run up with no line. Is a bit of a weight limit on the Tidal Wave. You do require two people to ride that. So if you're two adults, you may have to find a stranger that's a little bit less heavy than your partner and go down it. But pretty cool slide there to have that on a cruise ship. And really love the Sports Court, and the rock climbing wall was definitely an upgrade from my Navigator to the Seas journey in May because it had a little rock outcropping that added some more climbing routes, and it was super fun. Quick plug, if you are enjoying these types of videos, you like cruise content, be sure to subscribe to my channel, or if you don't want to, at least throw a like on this video. Thanks a lot. The Flow Rider on our voyage seemed to have something wrong with it. There was only one half of it that was working. So I felt like there probably wasn't enough real estate really to do tons of tricks, but the little kids of course love it, and teenagers. Plenty of space for adults to just hang out and watch, which is pretty fun. So now we're going to head down to deck 12, which has a lot more of a kid space. A lot of the kids clubs are on this deck, as well as Johnny Rockets and some other fun things. On the aft side over here, you have a great view of the wake. This is an awesome spot just to hang out, maybe read a book. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit of peace and quiet, you might hear some noise from the Flow Rider still, but this is kind of a hidden area of the ship. I will say for pretty much a sold out voyage, this ship handled people very, very well. Plenty of space on deck to spread out. So overall, I was pretty impressed with that. Was a little worried getting on board, it just feeling very cramped, and was not the case at all. So as we walk forward here, this is a sort of the mini activities deck here. You have ping pong, which is a big thing. I never saw, for the checker boards that are embedded into the ground there, never saw any pieces out for those. You might be able to check those out from an activities staff member. But 2 ping pong tables here, so if you're into that, that is available on board. We're going to see the rest of the deck out there in a second, but underneath deck 13 here with all the fun water slides are the kids clubs. So I checked these out right when I got on board because they're usually full of kids throughout the voyage and don't want to necessarily film anything like that. So they separate the kids into several different areas. So this is Aquanauts. This is for ages 3 to 5. Door was locked in there, but small little space for them. Does plenty of activities throughout the cruise. In between all these spaces is the Adventure Ocean Challenger arcade, so that's pretty cool. Pretty big arcade there for the kids. And then you have the Royal Babies and Tots, so that's obviously for kids under 3. Big space for them on board. And I was able to walk in here to the living room. So this has sort of a more upscale feel for some of the older kids, has more video games, that sort of thing. And the Royal Babies and Tots is over to the right. So a lot more structured activities for them. And then Explorers, so this is, I believe, ages like 6 to 12. So you have a big space in there. That door was locked, but majority of the kids on board are going to be that age. Here's a shot of the arcade there. They have some bowling, which is fun. And then Voyagers and Fuel. So you have 9 to 11 is Voyagers. And then Fuel, which is for teenagers. And they have a pretty big space here to hang out. More of a upscale bar theme for the kids there. Saw some kids playing Wii one night. They have foosball, big little disco area to dance. So if you have teenagers, probably gonna be found in there. So we're still out on deck 12. We're passing back again towards the arcade. We'll give you a better shot here of a lot of what's going on in the arcade. Tons of games here, obviously not included in your cruise. Reasonably priced though. They do have arcade cards that you can buy for your kids that they can use. They have the rubber duck vending machine, so you can see those ducks spread out all over the ship when people win those. Skee ball, tons of simulators. So pretty big arcade here, and well set up for fun for everyone. So now we're going to pass by the living room and head out to Johnny Rocket. So this is the diner on board. This is an extra charge. It's $12 for all you can eat. For burgers, hot dogs, french fries, onion rings, milkshakes are a little extra, but your fountain drinks are included. But it's a cool little diner feel there. Pretty good quality food. We did try it on our last sea day. So pretty fun. So now we're gonna make our way out towards the track and the rest of deck 12, which is overlooking the pool deck. So I did check 4.5 laps on this track is a mile. So pretty easy to track. If you wanted to run 2 miles in the morning, 9 laps around this thing. Didn't see a ton of traffic on the jogging track or a lot of people hanging out in these beach chairs, except for maybe on the sea days. So feel like if you're a jogger, you could probably get a decent jog in without having to dodge too many people walking around on the pool deck. We'll take a look at this a little later, but here's the cool kids splash and play area. What I really loved were those 2 hot tubs for adults to hang out in. If you have some kids that wanted to play in the play area, you wanted to relax as well, you can still watch them from that hot tub, which is pretty cool. And then those are the 2 main pools out there. Caribbean bands playing all day, every day, pretty much out there. Super fun. You do have a small bar on this level that serves those pool drinks. And we're right above the solarium, which is not covered on this ship. Some of the ships, I think the solariums are covered, but you have another pool, it's adults only. Pretty deep, I will say. I'm 6 foot and you have to kind of swim around a bit in parts of that pool. You're also overlooking the cantilevered hot tubs right there. But overall, a pretty cool little space for adults to hang out. And as promised, here's the other part of Deck 13, which is the ship's mini golf course. Liberty Dunes. As you can see too, this ship has plenty of deck chairs for people to hang out and lay out. You may not get that deck chair right by the pool, but if you want to get some sun, it is definitely possible here. Here's a good shot of Liberty Dunes. There's 9 holes here. Everything was really well kept. They used real golf balls. I noticed on some cruise ships they use these wooden balls. It just doesn't feel right to me as a golfer. So they use real mini golf balls. It's a real mini golf course, so you can definitely compete there with your friends and family. So now we're heading back down to deck 12. We're going to finish our tour with the spa facilities on board. So I always jump into the spa here on the embarkation day so I can get a little tour without having to pay for a treatment. But of course they have tons of upsell things, lots of beauty treatments that you can buy while on board. Of course you have your massages, you have a full salon. So if you're need to get your hair done or you need a haircut, a shave, that's all available to you on board, which is always nice just in case you forgot to get that haircut before vacation. And now we're walking into the treatment rooms. So you can get a couples massage or single treatment as well. So one thing I did love about this spa was that the sauna and steam room were actually included. It's one deck below in the fitness center. So a lot of ships, they do an extra charge for that. They have, sometimes like a spa pass that you can buy throughout the voyage. Not here on this ship. So that's definitely a benefit for those that like that steam room or sauna, just being able to relax a little bit. Here's that single person treatment room set up for one of their upcharge experiences with, I think, a seaweed wrap. So if that's of interest to you, it is available on board. So that wraps up deck 12. Deck 11 features right below the spa, as I mentioned, the fitness center. So that has your steam rooms, your saunas. It also has plenty of weights. It has all your machines that you normally find. Plenty of room to spread out. Has great views of the sea as well, overlooking the front of the ship. So you're kind of have a bridge view there. So that's located over there to the left. Now we're going to be on the pool deck here. So we have the solarium first. So we're going to move from front to back. Some really nice mosaics in the solarium. Quick comment about some of the art on the ship. I feel like it probably needs a little bit of a refresh. It's kind of a weird selection of pieces of art in the stairwells. Just something I noticed. It might be more to your taste, but just thought it was a little strange, and probably on the next dry deck wouldn't mind seeing those swapped out. So as you can see, the solarium does have a bar as well as these two cantilevered hot tubs. So those actually stretch out over the edge of the ship, so you have some great views of either the sea or your ports that you're in. Those are fantastic. I've noticed on a lot of cruise ships that the hot tubs are always busy. You never find a spot in them. This ship has plenty of hot tubs and was never an issue, so that was pretty cool. Over to the left is your towel stand, so you do have to swap in and out towels on this ship with your key cards, so make sure you return those at the end of your cruise and you don't get charged. Here's the main pool. That big Royal Caribbean logo is covering up their Jumbotron, which unfortunately was not working. I don't believe it's been working for a while, so hopefully on the next dry dock they resolve that issue, because I do think playing some sports by the pool or movies at night would be cool for everyone. Here is Sprinkles, so this is the self-serve, soft serve. Always a pretty long line, but it's available to you right there on the pool deck. You also have a pool bar behind the band over there. Here's that kids play area again. Squeeze is located on the other side there. That's where you can get some fresh squeezed juices, as well as plenty of bar drinks. Serves as another pool bar. Little patty shop here in case you forgot some of your dive equipment. Also probably have some snorkel equipment there as well. So lots of fun here on the pool deck. Obviously probably the most popular spot on the ship during sea days. So you're going to want to get up early and grab your prime seat if that's something that's important to you. As we make our way to the aft section of the ship on deck 12 here, we're going to enter Windjammer Cafe. And so on this ship, Windjammer also has Giovanni's as well as Chops Grill. So those are two of the specialty dining available on board. So you have, in the morning, you have breakfast, lunch, dinner. That was open every single day. I've seen on some ships they've been closing the buffet for maybe dinner or lunch. Not the case on this ship. Pretty impressed with the buffet. Everything was pretty high quality. Didn't really vary too much in the mornings. Didn't get to try it for lunch or dinner. But overall, pretty nice little space here. Can get busy in the mornings. Giovanni's had a nice little vibe to it. I felt like it was a little bit more casual than the Chops Grill when we tried it, and was really high quality food. You can check out my other video for my full review of my cruise, so you can see exactly what kind of food I ate in there, as well as that Chops Grill. So the next few decks are really mainly passenger staterooms, but there's tiny little rooms that are officially public space. So on this deck, deck 10, there's the card room. It was locked when I passed by, but if you're looking to play some cards, it's available in there for you. It was open later, I believe, in the cruise. Deck 9 features the library, which seemed like it was getting replenished there, but there were a few books available for people. And then down here on deck 8 is the Royal Caribbean online space. Used to be primarily just an internet cafe, still available if you need to borrow a computer and use the internet or print something out, mainly a business center now. So that is available to people on board. Now we're going to skip 2 decks and go down to deck 5, which has a lot more of fun for the public. So inside the dining room, it's a 3-story space. The bottom level was mostly available for us as anytime dining, but if you want set seating, there are 2 seatings each evening. But it's located right here at the entrance to the Royal Promenade. To the right are guest services desk, so if you have any problems during the cruise, you can ask them. Over to the left is the R bar, so that has some fancy cocktails. Then we have the Royal Promenade, which is the indoor walking street. You can see the inside cabins that actually have views of this space, looking into it, pretty cool. Lots of shops and restaurants and bars here. You have the next cruise desk, so if you want to book your next cruise on board, that's a dedicated space for that. The Cafe Promenade is 24 hours there. You can also get coffees. Shop to the right, as well as an upcharge cupcake place. Ben & Jerry's ice cream, also upcharged to the right there. So you can get your sundaes or your Cherry Garcia ice cream. All pretty reasonably priced, but it is not included in your cruise. Over to the left is the general store, so more Royal Caribbean logo items, gifts and sundries over there, kind of more of a jewelry store. Vintages, which is the wine bar on board. A lot of the wines available in here by the glass are available all over the ship, but they do have some nicer bottles in there, and they do some wine tastings throughout the cruise. Pretty cool space in there. Another Royal Caribbean store to the left there. And then you have the Hoof and Claw pub. So this space has some awesome beers, Paulaner Hefeweizen being one of my favorites. Some beers on tap that you can't find in other bars on board. Live guitar at night, which is pretty fun. And then you have Sorrento's Pizza. So this is open from like 11 a.m. till 3 a.m., at least on my voyage. They also have a small bar over there, so you can be grabbing drinks. But plenty of pizzas getting spun out of there all day, every day. Then you see these cool glass elevators in this pretty massive atrium that goes up all the way to the top of the ship. Pretty fun space, Royal Promenade, big focus of a lot of entertainment at night. At the end of Deck 5 over here is the Star Lounge. So this is where bingo's played. This is where a lot of game shows at night are played as well. Kind of a cosmopolitan feel. There's the Pinnacle Club Lounge, which I couldn't get access to because I am not a Pinnacle member quite yet. But pretty cool space in here. Later in the cruise, I did find out too that the 4th floor promenade deck extends up into this, and you can actually go up to the front of the ship, which is pretty cool. Not every ship has this, but it's always great to get some good views, get some wind going in your hair. But that is the Star Lounge on Deck 5. So now we're gonna head down to Deck 4, which has another whole grouping of public spaces on board, goes all the way through to the other end of the ship. So these are your 2 main indoor decks on board the Liberty of the Seas. So here on Deck 4 and Deck 3 is the Platinum Theater. So this is the main theater for the ship. 2 stories, fits a lot of people, but not everyone. So if it's a big popular show, it's Saturday Night Fever on our voyage. You want to get there nice and early. But on this end of the ship is my favorite bar on board, is Schooner Bar. They have some great whiskey drinks, and this is where they play trivia most of the time. So big trivia fan over here. There's also Sabor, which is the final upcharge restaurant on board that we haven't seen. This is high-end Mexican food. Really, really nice space. It's a little bit cheaper than the steakhouse or the Italian food, I think for good reason. The quality of food was okay. Had better Mexican food in my life, but overall still the quality of the food was good. Then here's the Casino Royale. So this is obviously a very popular space on board. Lots and lots of people just piling in some money and seeing if they can pay for their cruise. So this is open pretty much all hours when they're out of port, but once it's in port, it's of course closed. due to local regulations. So at the other end of the casino here is the photo gallery focus. So all of the photos that the ship's photographers have taken of you have been digitized. You scan your room card, and then you can view all those photos. I believe they use facial recognition to make that nice and easy for you. So that's something you're interested in. They can print those out. They can email you digital copies. Of course, that's an extra charge, but is available to you. And then here is Bolero. So this plays a lot of Latin music at night. Really fun there. Just a big lounge space. They have some cool blown glass on the walls. I feel like this is kind of a hidden gem. It's not particularly in the most trafficked part of the ship, even though it is a pretty public deck. So it's a nice little spot. The dining room, level 2, is over here on deck 4, and then it extends down to deck 3. So deck 3 is a bit of a split deck. Still a lot of things going on here. We'll show you all of that, of course. So this is where the ship's art gallery is with Park West. They do art auctions here in this space into the on-air space. On-air is where they do sports. They also do karaoke. And then that leads into Studio B, which is the ice skating rink, and they do some other game shows throughout the cruise in there as well. So Studio B basically divides the deck. On the other side are just more cabins, and then the other main floor of the Platinum Theater. So overall, that is the Liberty of the Seas, but I did want to show you our deluxe ocean view cabin, which I was really a big fan of. Large space here, a little bit bigger than the normal ocean view cabin, so no balcony here, but lots of space for my dad and I to share on this cruise. So still has a pretty standard cruise cabin layout. You have your bathroom to the left as you walk in, one sink, plenty of space for your towels, and then nice shower here with sliding doors, which I do prefer over the curtains. Make sure that water doesn't get all over the place in the bathroom. You have a little closet here. And then a little desk area, small little television. That couch does not pull out, but a good space to hang out nonetheless. And then we got our 2 twin beds. Those, of course, form a queen bed if they're pushed together. And then, even though we didn't have a balcony, it kind of looked like we did because the balcony deck extended out that way. So that's the end of the Liberty of the Seas tour. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more cruise videos.